Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I bet you are glad the weather has changed.
I mean, it changes everything. I couldn't take it anymore. It was awful. I'm really bad with heat. I'm just like,
And you guys don't have any air conditioning, right?
no. In France, it's very, very rare. Even in movie theaters, most
Yeah.
of the time you don't have it.
Wow.
It's bad for the planet. So,
Yes, no, it's true. It is very bad for the planet.
but
Up here in the Northwest, um, most modern homes like ours have air conditioning, but older homes don't. Um, but boy, the southern United States, you couldn't live in
I
most
know.
of the southern United States if it weren't for air conditioning.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and in fact, people didn't live in places like Florida until they did air conditioning. And then everybody decided to move down there because of air conditioning.
well, I don't know. In Europe, it's not at all something common at all. It's the same way we don't have dryer for a washing machine. It's something we don't
Yeah,
have here.
yeah. Well, you're better off, and it's better off for the planet, that's for sure. I can remember when I was a kid, my mom and my grandparents hanging their clothes out to dry, but outside.
Yeah.
But nobody does that anymore here in the United States.
Uh, but
Up
in
here,
California, you could because the weather is so nice. I mean, that should be something
yeah,
people do.
yeah,
Really,
but nobody does.
I
Nobody, or
know.
they don't now. They may in a few years, but they're not doing it now. Is excuse me? Is this hot weather that you just had? Is this very unusual, or do you have this every year?
Well, it's more common since I would say 5, 10 years because
Yeah,
of warming,
yeah,
global warming. Because before it wasn't like that, especially on the coast.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, the coast was really cool all summer, but
yeah,
it's no longer the case.
yeah. Well, it's like that even a little bit in San Francisco. When we first moved to San Francisco in the 90s, all summer fog, and they still had the big fog horns. I mean, they were big fog horns. But then the fog sort of is pretty much gone now. And of course, they turned the fog horns off, so because it was bothering people.
Oh,
That was so much the ambiance of San
yeah,
Francisco,
San
the
Francisco.
fog horns, but no more. Well,
The whole planet is changing. We really have
yeah.
to get used to it and try to, I don't know, change our way of living because we won't be able to do the same in a few years. It's obvious. Obvious.
Oh, it's obvious, but I can remember when I went to college, the first year I went to college, I was just thinking about this, and I took the basic biology class, so biology 101. And I can remember the TA in that class telling us, so this would have been 1970. I can remember the TA in that class telling us, a lot of us in biology are concerned about this thing called carbon dioxide, CO2. And he showed us the Keeling curve from Hawaii, right? Going up every year, every year, every year. That was my introduction to that basic idea. And I've been watching it, let's see, now for 53 years since that
Yes,
time.
yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether you have the Paris Agreement or you have this meeting or that meeting or we all do this or all do that. It never changes. It just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. Do you know that half the fossil fuels that have ever been burned have been burned since 1990?
I didn't know, but it's frightening, really.
Yeah, it is. That's why I spend so much time doing Tai Chi because
Yeah, you're right.
it's the only thing that keeps me sane.
Well, but when you talk to some people, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that it's really, really serious. Some people just like, because they don't see it really
Yeah.
causing problems in their daily life, they
Yeah.
just, you know, shrug their shoulders and just like talk about something else. But
Well, imagine, I keep thinking about this. Imagine instead of this being 2023, this was this was the year 180, 180, and you're living in Rome.
wow.
Right? You have this incredible civilization. You control 25% of the population in the world. It's the vast empire. Could they have imagined that 150 years later it would all be gone?
Yeah, you cannot imagine. But we have warning signs right now. I mean, we really
Yeah.
have to do something. We really have to change our everything that we do. We need to change.
You know, the problem with that is the first thing we'd have to change is our minds.
Yeah,
And I don't see any evidence that that's happening. I think, this is just my take on things, I think that the only thing that could really change us is enough pain.
yeah. It's true and it's terrible.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
it's terrible. It is terrible. And I think honestly, I hope this surprises you. I think it's going to take 80,000 years. I think this is an evolutionary process. I think we're going to get hit really, really, really hard, and we're going to go down a long way, and it's going to take a long, 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 long time to come back up. And I think only that kind of pain gives us the opportunity to change.
And
We're not going to change like that.
even that, I'm surprised. We had COVID and we saw so many people dying, so many people suffering, and it was really something we didn't expect, and it took us by surprise. But as soon as it was over, look at people. Planes are full. People still fly for just 2 days, like hundreds and 1,000 miles away for just a weekend. I can't believe it. People haven't changed. I mean, they haven't nothing, nothing. It's just
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Nobody's going to change.
It's deep in the bone, and until there's enough pain,
We're not.
we will
We're not.
change.
We're not going to change until we're forced to change. And the only thing that'll force us to change is a pain so deep
And long
and long
consistent.
and consistent, and it's still right on the edge.
Yes.
There, it's ready to
And
pound you again.
I don't trust us not to switch back.
but even pain.
We're
Look,
nasty little creatures.
Yes.
but even pain. Look at in the Second World War, we had the Shoah, and it was awful. It was a real. It was hell. But 30 years after, we had Bosnia. We had, I mean, Rwanda. I mean,
We're monkeys.
we are.
Monkeys.
We are.
We're monkeys.
Yes,
We
are.
fight like monkeys.
Yeah.
And
We
for
relate to each other like monkeys.
yes,
Chimpanzees especially.
yes. And chimpanzees are mean.
Are mean.
Mean.
Some of them, they're just like us. Some
Yeah,
of them are very,
very
very
nice.
nice and altruistic and kind
And some of them are
peacemakers,
awful.
and some of them are psychos.
So how do you shift? How do you shift toward the nicer end of things?
Yeah.
That shift is going to take so long because think about before chimpanzees even existed. Before nice chimpanzees existed.
Yeah.
How did nice chimpanzees evolve?
Yeah.
Well, I think it can.
Cooperation. You know,
Yeah.
that whole thing with cooperation.
Well, you're right. There are nice chimpanzees that are good to each other and take care of each other. They're just like human beings. But boy, there are a lot of chimps that are just meaner than shit.
Yeah.
And human beings are the same way. We're mean. I was gonna say meaner than fuck, but I didn't want to curse, so I said meaner than shit instead. We're just mean.
Well, I think humankind is maybe not. Yeah, I mean, there is something mean in humankind, something really selfish and narrow and thinking only about their own bubble. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, and you see that at the microscopic level, and at the microscopic level, it's the same. I mean, you just see it everywhere.
It's just the nature of existence in a way. I mean, you.
Yeah, no, you're right.
We're an organism.
Yeah.
We're an unconscious organism, and we're going toward the light and the sugar. And we don't care who we have to run over in order to get it. And then when it's gone, we implode and start all over again.
It's just like, well,
and
but it's a way of surviving.
We've got this self-reflective consciousness that's dropped down into this organic system. Nature does not care about you.
No.
At all.
No. No.
And this is the system that you live in.
Yeah.
And part of our problem is we've forgotten that we live in this system.
Well,
we think we can control it. We think we're above it.
Yes, we do. We think we're above this. We're above nature.
But it's not true. It's so
not true. Yeah, and COVID should have taught them. And I don't want to, continue to bring this conversation down, but I was reading about the new fungi, the new fungal epidemics that are going through the world now, and we're not prepared for those at all.
We're not prepared for anything. We just
that's what I mean. It's a natural organism, and she doesn't care about us as individuals.
We don't think ahead.
As a species, even.
We don't think ahead. We don't plan ahead. We don't self-restrain ourselves. No, let me finish. That would take
self-restraint.
That would take a higher level of consciousness. Some of us have it.
Yeah.
But most of us don't.
But it's a minority.
But to shift from just a few people having it to a lot of people having it is an evolutionary shift. And that evolutionary shift is not going to happen in 6 years, or 60 years, or 600 years, or 6,000 years. It's going to take 60,000 years.
Well, maybe Source will have pity on us and send us a spark to accelerate the evolutionary process toward that.
What was your dream?
Last night I dreamed I was riding a bicycle. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. I remember how to do this.
That sounds like a great dream, but that's not what I was asking. I was asking, what was your dream? The dream.
Oh, where I was told what I was supposed to do?
Yes.
Yes. I am supposed to cover the planet, the globe.
Come here and tell Catherine.
Golden Chi.
So what are you supposed to do?
I don't know. They don't give you I didn't come with a manual. I mean, my computer has a manual.
What about the golden thread?
Yes, that's what they told me in a dream, in a lucid dream. I had a lucid dream, and I woke up in this dream, Catherine, in the high desert, and I knew where I was. I could smell it, feel it. The sand was warm. There was a big fire right in front of me. And I was like, okay, here I am, and I could feel it. And then I became aware that there was a circle of people, of friends, my community, just in the shadow from the fire, just in the shadow. But I could feel them, and they were all sitting there staring at me. And I'm sitting there in front of the fire, cross-legged, going, what am I supposed to be doing? I could feel them, you know, the hair on the back of my neck and my body was, and I was tingling, and I was like, and that question of, oh, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? These people have expectations. I have expectations. And I was just in a little panic, and then I went, okay, I have to just breathe. And when I did, I looked down, and there was a leather pouch on the ground in front of me. And my body just automatically reached out to get it. Didn't even think about it. And when I did, I touched it and I flew up into the air. And I realized that I was circling the planet over and over and over again. And I was trailing a golden thread. And then the next scene was I was way out in space looking at the planet, looking at what I had done. And I had literally covered the planet in this golden chi, golden thread. And the only thing that I can think of in my life is Qigong and Qi, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
Wow, what a dream.
Yeah.
That is quite a dream.
It's been a touchstone. I had that in my 30s when I was really young, you know. And I've just been hanging on to that dream now for this whole time.
She's never really understood that dream because she thinks it's about teaching Qigong, but she's wrong. It's not about teaching Qigong. It's just about being herself. She doesn't need to do, no, I'm serious. She doesn't need to do anything. She just needs to be herself. And whatever she's going to do, and the truth is, that's true for anyone. That's true for me. It's true for you. It's a catalyst. It's truly a catalyst in a chemical sense. There's a chemical reaction that needs to happen, but it won't happen until there's a catalyst. So sometimes the catalyst is a little bit of iron filings, and sometimes it's some esoteric molecule,
it's
right?
vinegar
Sometimes it's vinegar. But whatever it is, like one little drop in the bucket will change everything in the bucket. And that's what has to happen for humanity.
Yeah.
Humanity has to change. It's not about, oh, we need better policies. It's we need to change inside.
Yeah. It's deep. It's
Yeah, but
really,
human being is so resistant to change. I mean, like.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I'm resistant to change. Everybody's resistant.
Yeah, me too. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have all those qualities I'm railing against, but you know.
But the truth is, we're all here for a reason.
Yes.
We don't practice together for no reason.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it. I prefer not to talk about it. Just practice. But
it's like, wake up.
in a kind of way, it's about waking up.
Stay awake every day.
It's about
whether
waking.
You like it or not.
It's about waking up.
Don't go back to sleep. That's what William said.
Yes. Yeah. Good
Don't
old Rumi. Take you know Rumi, the poet Rumi. Yeah. Rumi was a catalyst.
Yeah, he's still a cat.
Jesus was a catalyst. Einstein was a catalyst. E.O. Wilson is a catalyst. Different people bring different things into the world. And if you only will truly listen to them, they're the ones that are changing things. And of course, for them, it's partly pretty confusing.
Yes, it is.
It's not like they're so smart, they know everything. That's not it. It's just they ask questions. They ask questions, and then they share with us what few little answers they get. And
I was thinking about your paleontologist.
I
mean, I think he's, in his own way.
Yes, he's a catalyst.
I mean, when you see him, he's a shining person.
Yes, he is.
He's a shining
He's the shiny penny.
He's a shiny penny.
As my grandmother used to say, he's a shiny penny.
Yeah.
Although they usually said that of young ladies, nevertheless, a shiny
He
penny.
is a shiny penny. You can see it in his energy body. He's alive.
He's alive, and
Really alive.
he has.
He's excited.
He's excited, and he's so far ahead of where the rest of them in the paleo community is, and that makes him a leader. It makes him a catalyst. But he also collects a lot of resistance.
Yes.
A lot of resistance,
yes.
because he's very outspoken. The only problem is he's done more for paleoanthropology than every other paleoanthropologist put together.
Which is why, spitballs have been thrown at him.
Oh, I
repeatedly.
He makes mistakes. I think he honestly made a mistake.
Well, I think he's.
We're talking about something that Catherine probably doesn't even know about. Do you know the story of Homo naledi? Is it?
Oh, you need to check it out, Catherine. It's fascinating. It will change your mind about the big picture.
Oh, okay. So.
Yeah.
But to get back to the real thing that we're talking about is you have to be a catalyst, and the only way that you can be a catalyst is just to be yourself. It's not about what you do, because how do you know exactly what to do? You don't know.
I have dissected that dream over these years and tried to find the kernel of truth in it, the thing that was. And what I realized was it all boils down to that moment of intense confusion, that feeling of intense confusion. And then I just dropped into my body, and my body did something, and all was right with the world. It was like I just gave up. I just, the executive sat down, and my body just did what it wanted to do, and it was the right thing.
I am rereading an old book from my past called The Way of Zen by Alan Watts. I don't know whether you know Alan Watts, a British author.
My husband read it a long time ago. Yeah.
So I'm rereading it after probably 40 years or something like that, and realized I probably never read the second half of the book. I probably only read the first half or so. And he's talking about what they do traditionally in Zen, and one of the things they do is called increasing your doubt. So they give you the koans. So the koans in most of their systems are very formal, and there is a program, and the entire program takes 30 years to go through. One of the things
that's a commitment.
Well, it's just like Tai Chi. Tai Chi takes 30 years.
Commitment.
It does, honestly. If you really want to get it, you're going to work on it for 30, 40, 50 years. So what they do in increasing your doubt is they give you koans, and it doesn't matter what answer you give them, they'll tell you it's wrong. No, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. They just keep telling you that until you give up and you realize, oh, I don't understand. That's the answer. The answer is no, you don't understand. So live in that. When you understand, you fall asleep.
Yeah.
When you don't understand, you've got to stay awake. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of Zen training, is to wake you up as if you were having a lucid dream.
And this practice
Tai Chi
is a good vehicle. It really is a good vehicle.
Yes, it is.
It's a good touchstone.
Tai Chi and Qigong are wonderful vehicles. They're very, very good.
You've got to tie yourself to something.
Well, yeah, I mean, eventually you got to do something. You know why I like this? Because there's no talking, although we're talking today. But
I don't think we socialize enough.
it's just about moving
Yeah.
and paying attention.
And being
Paying attention. Paying attention.
Attention.
Yeah.
I think it's the key, even more than the first one. It's paying attention, being aware of everything.
Everything.
Well, the other thing about it is it feels so good. It feels so good to do that. Now, dancing is wonderful. To have music and dance to that, that's wonderful.
I love it.
But it's a different thing
Very different.
because then you're relating to the music, etc., etc. It's there's nothing wrong with it. They're equally good. It's just different.
I've used up all my words.
Oh, you
I'm
did.
going to the back porch.
Thank you, Annie.
Annie has used all her words up. She's going to go on the back porch and watch the birds.
Yes, I am.
All right. So
Be quiet.
let's let's work on the net. We only have a few minutes left here. 15 minutes.
I have a question.
Yes.
In this movement,
Yes.
it's at the beginning. This, my timing is wrong here. You do that, and when you do it, you have the time to do that, and then you finish the movement. And I don't. I do it at this.
Okay, that part of the move, right? First, you're punching out. You're using these knuckles here on the outside, not these knuckles in here, but these knuckles out here. And you're not punching someone. You're going out and you're coming down their body. So you might hit their nose. You might hit their chest. You might hit their tummy. You don't know what you're going to hit. You just, all right? So it's like this. Up your back, over your head, down your front. Up your back, over your head, down your front, right? The other hand, now, assuming doing this, you hit the guy in the nose, right? You're not aiming for the nose, you're going up above and then you're coming down, but you hit the nose. Oh, so now his nose is all broken and bloody, right? So that means you want to hit it again, right? And how you do that is bam, like that. It's a backhand. It's the same thing. Up the back, boom, and then across the head. Right? 1, 2. Now come back. That's actually a function. There's actually a function there. Suppose the guy is coming in and he's grabbed you here, right? So there's a hand at the end of this, and he's grabbed you, right? You lay your hand on top of his arm and just go like this. So I've grabbed the guy, and he's going to pull me in. So that's not nothing. That is something. 1, 2, 3, and then as you do this, this hand just comes around with it, just by your body swinging. You're going to go under your danshan, right? And now you're going to stretch between your hands as if you've got a bungee cord, right? Stretch. Stretch. This one is stretching up, but this one is stretching down. Both hands are full. It's not this hand is full and this hand is empty. They're both full, right? This is full. They're both doing pung. Pung is expansion. Expansion doesn't just have to go up, it also goes down. Stretch. And look what happens. I go from down here to up here. Pop. All right? Stretch. Just like you're stretching a rubber band. And then you'll just let it go and it goes back together. Stretch, pop. All right? The foot. The foot is controlled by this hand moving in relation to the Dan Chen. Right? Nothing happens until I go past the Dan Chen. Right? When it's past the Dan Chen, then the leg comes up. And it doesn't go back down until I get back down to the Dan Chen. Delay going down a little bit. Right? Up. Wait, now. And then wait, pop, pop, pop. In old Chen style, it looks like this. That's it, that's the move. None of this stuff. You just, right? You just come around. So we do a little more fancy stuff, a little more Qigong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's so precise, so precise.
It's very precise.
I mean, like, the second is important in this. I mean, the more I do it, and sometimes the more I realize that it's so precise that it's driving me nuts, really.
It's like dancing in this sense. You can't think about it. You have, your whole body just has to do it. And the only way to get comfortable with that is just to keep doing it over and over and over and over. That's
Well,
it. You can't.
The more I do it, the more I realize that so many details I need to just understand them, because otherwise I understand that I have like some blocks that are empty because those details are missing. And the more I do it, the more I notice that those missing details. So it's an endless learning.
It is a kind of endless learning, because I've been doing this for 30 years, and honestly, I mean this honestly, every day when I do it, I learn something. Every day I learn something. It's not, my learning is not in the past, it's in the present tense. Let me tell you my own experience with this. Over the course of about 15 years with Master Zhang, I did this form 6 times in the public class, just like our class with a lot of people. And every time, every day, I would learn something. In addition to those six times in public classes, we did it 6 times in private lessons.
Wow.
Where it was kind of like what you and I did. He would tell me so many things. It felt like my head was going to explode. And Annie and I had a job. I had a job doing property management at an apartment building, 7-story apartment building, and we lived literally the next street over from Master Jean. So I lived a block away, and I would go to his house to do private lessons, and I would go twice a week, each time for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And when I was done, then I would go to the park, because the park, Golden Gate Park, was only a block away. I would go to the park and I would practice for another half hour. Because if I didn't, I would never remember what he told me. I would remember a few things, but a lot of it would just disappear. So I realized I have to go practice and kind of go through again in my head the things that he had told me. And then because I was doing property management, I only had to be on the property if there was something that needed to be done. So I wore a buzzer, but in the years that I did that, it never went off. There were never any emergencies. So what I would do, you know San Francisco well enough. You know Pill Hill, where the big teaching hospital is, right? They have a student union there, and part of the student union, they would give classes in yoga and Pilates and things like that. But during the day, during the mornings, nobody was using those studios. So for $35 a year, I got a membership there, and I would go in and use those studios every morning.
Wow.
So every single morning, I would go and practice for 2 to 3 hours. And then in addition, I did two-hour lessons every week. And then in addition, I did three-hour public classes. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 10, 23 hours a week. And
That's
I did that for 15 years.
wow.
And
We, I
that,
don't I don't do that, so
well, it's okay. Everybody has their own life.
I know, Malcolm, but if you want to learn something like Tai Chi, and
Yes.
I started late, that means that most of my life is behind me.
Yes.
I do need to just practice way more than I do. I realized that this week.
Then practice more. You will go a little faster and a little farther. But remember what Grandmaster Feng used to say, and he was not kidding. He said, if you really want to learn this, it's going to take you 99 lifetimes. So he said, this is the first thing he said when he came and did a big workshop, and we were he went all around the United States, but the first place he stopped was San Francisco to work with my teacher, and we did this workshop there, and the first thing he said is, look, there were like 160 people there, and these people were like me, most of them pretty serious about practicing this. He said, if you really want to learn this, it's going to take you more than this lifetime. It's going to take you 99 lifetimes. It takes everybody 99 lifetimes. So there's two things that you need. One is you need persistence. You practice every day, every single day. You can't say, oh, today's too hot. Tomorrow's too cold. Oh, the next day I have to go to the eye doctor. Oh, the next day I have to go to the grocery store. You no longer have a practice. You practice every day. If it's too hot, then you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you practice until 6 o'clock when it's nice and cool, right? Maybe you can't come to our classes because the time is not right. It's too hot. But you can get up early and practice. And you just make yourself do that. And you do it and do it and do it. And then the other thing that you have to have is patience with yourself, because you are just a human being. You're not perfect. And like all human beings, you can only go so fast. It's true for everybody. So you need to be very patient with yourself. You need to be very patient with your teacher.
I am.
Thank you. And you need to be patient with your discipline. This is a discipline in the old-fashioned sense of a discipline. Bookbinding can also be a discipline. Art can be a discipline. Medicine can be a discipline. All these things can be disciplines. Most people in the United States don't think of Tai Chi as a discipline. They think of it as a recreation, maybe a little exercise. But they don't think about it as a discipline. A discipline is using what you're doing as a catalyst to promote your own self-evolution.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good
And
definition.
Tai Chi and Qigong are wonderful catalysts. They're also a lot of fun. But you got to be really, really patient with it and realize it's going to take you 99 lifetimes to get good at it. So, wait, Kevin, I'll come back to you. I did 6 times public, 6 times in private, and that did not make me an expert. That just made me a beginner. Truly. I've learned as much about the form in the past 5 years just doing this online and trying to understand what it is I'm doing. And that made me look inside more and realize things like this arm comes back. And that's going to pull that arm around. Just, you're not even doing anything with it, it just comes around. And the timing on it is very easy once you understand everything from the inside. It's not tricky.
No, it's not tricky.
It's not tricky, but it's not easy either.
But it's subtle.
It's not easy to learn. It's very easy to do, but it's very hard to learn. All right, guys, I can see the advanced people are here. Catherine, enjoy your day.